Hey, what's up everybody? Scoob from Dirt Soldiers MX. Hey, today I want to give you a video tip on correct body position while cornering. This is going to be a 3-part series. I'm going to have 2 more videos in this series. To get these videos, all you have to do is sign up here to the right, give me your name and email, and I'm going to send you the other 2 videos in this series. They are going to consist of more body positioning, more technique, fundamentals of body position, and also master the 5 controls: this clutch, this front brake, throttle, shifter, and rear brake. So that's going to be the last video in this series. And honestly, what motocross comes down to, the game of motocross comes down to two fundamentals is what it comes down to. And them 2 fundamentals are body position, which there's many different areas where you need to master this body position. You know, not only while cornering, while in straights, while standing, while through whoops, through jumps, corners, ruts. You know, the whole everything that consists of a motocross track. Everything you need to do. It's also helpful for you woods guys too if you're watching this video, because it all applies the same thing. And when you master this correct body position and these 5 controls, the 2 fundamentals, it's the biggest thing you can do, especially as an amateur, especially starting out, you know, even getting up into intermediates. If you can get this body position and these 5 controls mastered, it will make your motocross game, you will up your game. You will go to different levels once you master these 2 fundamentals. So let's get right into it. Let's start. I got a picture of Dungy here. I love it. I like his flow. I like his momentum. I love his technique. And you know, a lot of people give him a bad rap for kind of not being so aggressive. They get, people get a little harsh on him. You know, he's got real good technique. He really does, and he flows really good in the bike. He's real loose, and it's a good thing. So let's get into it. Number 1, outside elbow up. You want this outside elbow up. This gives you the correct leverage between you and the bike, and it helps you lean this bike over in a corner. When you want to lean this bike over, you need the leverage to lean this bike over. So you need that outside elbow up. You don't want to be keeping this elbow down in here. You want to get it up. And a way to do that is to over grip this throttle. You can see I got this arrow going here. That's what that is for. But you want to over grip this throttle. Now, if you don't do this now, this is something you don't do. You don't over grip this throttle. It's going to feel funny to you. So it's something you want to go out in the field or something, out on your practice track. Slow it down, take it easy, and practice this technique. Just as you're sitting here watching this video, put your arms out in front of you. If you put your arms out and you have your wrist, just keep it straight out. See how your elbows are just parallel to the ground? Now roll your front wrist up, over, forward a little bit. See how your outside elbow comes up? That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do in this motocross bike. You want to have an over grip on this throttle to raise that outside elbow up, so you have the correct leverage between you and the motorcycle to lean this thing over. So that's, it's a big one. You want to get out there and really practice getting this outside elbow up. Be conscious of it and try to be getting that thing up there all the time by over gripping your throttle. Practice this. Like I said, it's a technique that it'll feel weird to you if you've never done it before. Okay, number 2, finger on the clutch, finger on the brake. Dungy does this great. He does this awesome. Look at this. He's got a nice 1 finger on the clutch. You can ride with 1 or 2. I like to ride with 1 myself, and always a finger on the brake. Here's a mistake I see a lot of other amateurs making. They do not put a finger on this brake at all. This is where most of your stopping power comes from. Not the rear brake, it comes from the front brake. And I'm going to get into that more in these videos coming up, but right now I just want to let you know about the technique of keeping that finger on that brake. I like to keep 1. I just talked about that over grip, so you do want to, you want some fingers on that grip, on that throttle. So I like to use just 1, but always have a finger on the clutch and a finger on the brake. You want this finger on the clutch so you can, this is what controls this bike. You need power, whatever the situation may be. If you need a little power, you get it from right here. So get out there and practice, always having a finger on the clutch, a finger on the brake. Number 3, look far ahead and look to where you're going. You don't want to ride down here in a 2-foot box, what they call a 2-foot box, looking down right in front of your front wheel. That's completely not good and not right. I mean, if you can't anticipate nothing, and Motocross is a big time game of anticipation. Be ready for what's coming up. And you always want to look to where you're going. I mean, look to where you want to go. If Dungy wanted to come in a little bit sharper in this corner, in here a little bit more, you'd want to look there. That's where you look, all the while looking as far ahead as possible also to be ready for what's coming up. So look to where you want to go, look far ahead. Number 4, inside leg out. You know, you're going to put your inside leg out for a corner. That's there just in case you might lean it over a little bit too far. The bike might get away from you a little bit to dab it, to keep your bike from falling. But you don't, but you want to keep this leg tight up against this bike, up against this shroud, up against this tank. That's where your control comes from. You see a lot of guys, if you watch video, watch video guys, and even the pros do this. A lot of amateurs do it. They get this leg real far away from here. They don't keep it tight. You lose all the control when you do that. When you got it out here, you're going to have a loose feeling. This bike tends to jump around, and you lose control. Same with this leg. You want it also tight too. Tight up against that bike. Number 5, you can't see it here, but excuse me, I'm sorry, couldn't get that out. But the number 5 is you want to ride on the balls of your feet, not the arches, not the heels. You want to ride on the balls of your feet, on the foot pegs. This is where you get all your control from. This is the pivot point. This is where you control this bike when you need to make movements on it to move it around. It comes from right here on the ball of your foot. Remember how I showed you here about putting your arms out a little bit earlier and doing that over grip? Well, when you stand up right now, if you're watching this video and you can stand up and get on the heels of your feet. Stand on your heels of your feet. See how much control, even just standing, you lose? Now get on the balls of your feet. And look how you can move yourself around by being on the balls of your feet. Much more control by being on the balls of your feet on these foot pegs. This is a big one, actually. You don't hear this a lot, and this makes a world of difference. You've got to be conscious of this when you get out practicing, that you're on the balls of your feet. Obviously, you're going to be putting weight in this foot peg also when you're quartering, and you want to carry the weight in your lower body. You want to carry weight down through here. You want no weight in your upper body. You want to keep this upper body nice and loose. Carry the weight in the seat of the bike and down through the legs into the foot pegs. This lowers the center of gravity on this bike and makes it much more controllable. When you carry it down here, if you carry the weight up in your arms, up in through here, that's going to weight the front of this bike. It's going to be the highest center of gravity point on this bike. You want it to be down here, the center of gravity. You want to lower the center of gravity down through these foot pegs and down through your legs to keep the wheels tight into the ground and not bouncing up all over the place. So upper body is going to be way loose, real loose, no weight in your arms. Dungy does this really good. That's leading right into tip number 6 here. Square shoulders. You want square shoulders all the time, always when racing, motocross, practicing, whatever you're doing. You want square shoulders. If you need to move, you need to make movements and adjustments, you move by laterally, moving your upper body laterally, back and forth this way. Do not carry weight in these arms. Carry it down in these legs and in these foot pegs. Okay, that's my 6 tips for body position while cornering. Get out there, practice this stuff. Be conscious of it. Be conscious of your legs, your balls of your feet, finger on the brake, finger on the clutch, carrying the weight in your lower body into the foot pegs. Look into where you want to go. Don't be looking right down here. Look far ahead. I hope this really helped you guys. I hope you picked up some good tips off this. You can take this to your next practice session and you can really start to make improvements. You know, you want to. This is stuff you want to get to a track and slow down. If you're getting out there and you're just going full throttle, you want to slow down and really let this become part of your DNA, so to speak. It's part of your you want it to become just second nature to you, something you just do without even thinking about it. And the only way to do that is to get out there, slow it down, and really be conscious of these things we just talked about. And it will definitely come to you, and it'll come to you quicker than what you think. You can't go out there and just go balls to the walls and think that when you do that, you might be doing the wrong things and you can't pick up on this stuff to do it correctly. So okay, 2 more videos coming, more on body position and the 5 controls. Remember, like I said, the 2 most important fundamentals of this motocross game is this body position and these 5 controls. Whatever you look at in this sport, it all comes down to these 2 things. So we're going to get in depth on more of that in the next 2 videos. Go ahead and put your name and email over there on the right, and these videos will be coming to you. Thank you very much. Have a great